Welcome back to Saturday Stand-Up. Let's talk some Seattle Mariners baseball. So after another pretty good week of Seattle Mariners baseball where they won their third straight series against the Texas Rangers last night, the Mariners are back into first place in the AL West and they continue to keep winning series, which is great to see. But again, the schedule does not get any easier. So we have some of your questions for this week's episode of Saturday Stand-Up. Most of them kind of involve injuries, but we're going to go through some of them and I'm going to give you my opinion on them. So this was kind of covered twice, but any news on Dom Canzone and ETA on his return, as well as somebody also added how long will Dom Canzone be out. So as you know, back on the game on April 14th, Dom Canzone suffered an AC joint sprain. And just based on some individual research, this takes about 6 full weeks to fully recover from this injury. I have gotten this question a lot over on X, but there really is no specific timeline necessarily for him. He was placed on the 10-day IL, but he will be out longer than that. The timeline that I've been kind of going with since this happened on April 14th, if he takes 6 full weeks to recover from this injury, and then he will start his rehab assessment down in Tacoma to get more reps and really start seeing the ball again. So my guess is we won't see Dom Canzone until probably about mid to late June, which sucks for the Mariners because he was doing pretty well. He did lead the team in home runs before he got hurt, and he really seemed to be figuring out his approach at the plate. So yes, while this does suck, if I had to give an estimate based on some stuff I've seen and also some research I did on my own, I guess we will see Dom Canzone probably around mid-June to late June. So these next two questions kind of go hand in hand, but I'm going to start with the first one, and that is, can you address the JP situation? So JP Crawford did suffer a grade 1 sprain, which usually for hitters takes about 27 days to fully heal from that. Thank goodness it was only a grade 1, because if you were talking about grade 2, he would be out for a lot longer. But in terms of hitters, it takes about 27 days. If it was a pitching-related injury, usually pitchers take about 35 days to recover from this injury. And this is using MLB's health and tracking system, so this is definitely a pretty accurate number in terms of how long it actually takes to recover from this injury. But also from what I have seen is this also is something that could linger throughout the year, so it's definitely something that won't be fully feel great for JP throughout the rest of the year, but hopefully he'll be able to fight through it and that it doesn't get any worse. And again, I'd rather just him be able to get through it now earlier in the season so it doesn't really bother him as much going later into the season and he can fully recover before coming back. So going along with that question, we did get asked, what are your expectations for Leo Rivas in JP Crawford's absence? So just to give a little bit of background for you guys out there, that Rivas in AAA so far was hitting .308 with 11 walks, 5 stolen bases, 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 home runs in 52 ABs with the Rainiers this year. And if I'm not mistaken, he has been in the minor leagues for about 10 years now, and him and Scott Servais do kind of have a connection going way back to when he was with the Angels. But he has been doing pretty good so far in AAA, and this is his first appearance in the MLB. So to be completely truthful about this, I really don't have any expectations for him. Based on kind of some stuff that I've seen is that Demo's going to be getting a lot of the reps there kind of as expected. So he's going to be pretty much our everyday shortstop, but apparently Leo is very good at defense, which Scott had mentioned. So he's definitely going to get reps just in general because his defense is really good. But in terms of really expectations, I really don't have that many. I think in about the month that JP is gone for, maybe the guy can get about 5 to 7 starts. That'd be cool just for him and maybe see what he can do and maybe he'd shock us all. But I do think Demo is going to get a lot of those starts because he has had a pretty good year so far and he's kind of continuing to improve a little bit. To be honest, I think this was a big shocker that Rivas was called up compared to guys like maybe Ryan Bliss, because I don't think really anyone was expecting him to be called up, to be honest. We were kind of talking about whether, maybe it would be Sam Haggerty or Ryan Bliss that would have gotten the call up, but we really were all wrong. Ryan Bliss hasn't had a great start in AAA this year. He's starting to pick it up as of late, but he really hasn't had a great start to really make him stand out and be like, that's the guy we should call up. But yeah, again, I think Dylan Moore is going to get most of those reps anyway, and it would be nice to see Rivas get his actual first MLB start under his belt and be kind of just a cool moment for the squad and for him. But in terms of expectations, I really don't have any. If he can come out and do a really solid job for us whenever he does play, that would be awesome to see. And of course, as a Mariners fan, I'm always rooting for him. But for our last question of Saturday Stand-Up, this is definitely a very interesting one, and it's thoughts on Garver and Raley and how long do we wait? So this is a very tough question because I might be a little biased because I was really high on Luke Raley this season, but him and Mitch Garver are both at the bottom of the team in terms of WAR at a -0.3 each. Mitch Garver is currently hitting 141 while Luke Raley is currently hitting 186, and like I said, in terms of wins above replacement, they are both dead last on the team. Mitch Garver has over a 28% strikeout rate while Luke Raley has over a 34% strikeout rate, and Luke Raley has yet to even walk one single time this season. Luke also has a 33 WRC plus, while Mitch Garver has a 61, which truly is just so much worse than we could have ever imagined, especially from Mitch Garver. When we signed him to a 2-year deal, we were hoping that he would really be solve the DH problem that we've had, especially in 2023. So to be honest, it's really just frustrating that really we just have yet to find that DH solution, and maybe he does figure it out, and obviously, like I said, as a fan, I'm hoping he does, but right now he is just not looking comfortable at the plate. I was hoping that home run would get him out of the slump, but if anything, it's gotten worse ever since the home run. So in terms of really how long do you wait, I really think the answer might be a little more obvious than you think, because Mitch isn't going anywhere unless somehow there's some trade in his deal, but he's not going anywhere. We signed him for 2 years, $24 million, so they're expecting to ride him out as long as they can. And Luke Raley, I don't really know if he has any minor league options left, so it's either you kind of get rid of him or you stick him out, which I think they should stick him out. Again, to me, it's still very early in the season. We're only 25 games in, and Luke Raley hasn't played that many games. And again, similarly with Class A, I know he hasn't gotten too many chances, but he has gotten a few, and he has shown what he can do. But again, nothing too crazy, especially when Canzone comes back. Unless Class A really starts to figure it out, Canzone is going to take his spot right back. So it's a tough situation, honestly, for the Mariners to be in general, and we really don't want to be in this situation because we really want these two guys to come in and do what we expected them to do, especially Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver is really frustrating to watch at the plate. He'll be late on 91-mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle, and it's just like, what are you looking for? But yeah, in terms of really how long do you wait, there really is no timeline on that, because I don't really think they're going to get rid of either one of them. They're going to let them ride the entire season unless it's really bad. But again, they're just going to let him ride kind of similarly to Colton Wong until they finally got rid of him. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. But thank you guys again for putting in your questions for this week of Saturday Stand-Up. We do these every Saturday, so make sure to go follow me on X to leave your questions down on my post when I do post them later in the week. But otherwise, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and let's hope the Mariners can keep the win streak rolling. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.